Heerlen is a municipality in the southeast of the Netherlands. It is the third largest settlement in the province of Limburg. Heerlen forms part of the city district of Parkstad-Limburg, an agglomeration with about 250,000 inhabitants and encompassing 8 municipalities. Heerlen is to the east of Maastricht and north of Aachen city in Germany. After its early Roman beginnings and modest medieval period, Heerlen became a center for the coal mining industry, in the late 19th century, in the Netherlands. With the arrival of the Romans, the history of Heerlen properly starts while the city has many evidence of Roman life, especially the Roman villas. In 1940, most notable archaeological excavation of a Roman bathhouse from Roman times in the center of Heerlen was discovered. A museum has been built over the Thermae and opened in 1977. The Thermen Museum also houses other Roman finds from the area. Until the 10th century few people was known about Heerlen's history, when agricultural development continues once more in these districts of Europe. In the 19th century, Heerlen did not participate in the Industrial Revolution and reserved agricultural and farming until coal mining began in the late 19th/early 20th century. In March 1874, Koolvalkenburger Weg was found. In 1896 Heerlen got its first railway connection to allow transportation of coal. In 1901, the national government bought all remaining mines and set up the state mines, and began coal productions. The population rose sharply until 1930, and the coal mines were central city development in Heerlen to be a modern city until the 1960s. In the period of 1965 to 1975 the coal mines were closed altogether. Thus, people lost their jobs and a difficult period of economic readjustment started. After all, even today Heerlen has not completely recovered from the lost 60,000 of jobs. In modern day of Heerlen, most mounts of mining transformed into green hills which called, from black to green. Then, one of the few remaining mining buildings currently houses the Dutch Mine Museum. As a result, in the history of Heerlen urban development, a lot of support and a great response to turning the region around is received. Heerlen is a great example of how former industrial municipalities can be transformed into a city that will lead Europe well into the 21st century. Heerlen has many historical buildings and the most important of them are the castles. In the cultural heritage map of the Heerlen North, we can see the Castle Hoensbroek, Slotskasberg, Brunsum Mine Museum, and Trebeck Mine Colony houses. Since these areas do not interact with the center, they do not attract the attention of tourists and inhabitants enough and do not allow the cultural heritage of the region to be preserved and kept alive. Now let's go back to Heerlen's mining history. What happened in Heerlen city with the opening and closing of the mines? Coal mining in the Limburg region ended in the 1960s and 1970s. It was initially located at Shaft 2 of the Iranian Ziaee mine in Heerlen, which was the last Dutch coal mine to close in 1974. The first coal was mined here in 1898. Because of the opening of the mines Heerlen became attractive for unqualified labor. Blue-collar workers showed interest in the region and started to work in mine areas there. The population in the region has almost doubled. And most of the workers were coming from different backgrounds. After the closure of the mines, it was hard to keep the people in Heerlen. Most people in the region lost their jobs and decided to migrate from the area. The workers couldn't grow a sense of belonging there because they were not locals and their only connection to Heerlen was their jobs. Urban development of cities without a sense of belonging cannot be sustainable. Apart from creating an economical balance, social and cultural pillars of sustainability should be taken serious. It can be clearly seen that the new development plans that will come to the region should be planned in such a way that local and foreign, young and old people can contribute to the city. So that sense of belonging will grow more with the actions for the city. There are also mobility problems in the city of Heerlen. For example, the main train station Montcordier district is one of them. The roads where people coming to the main train station will integrate into the city do not offer strong connections. It doesn't invite people into the city and it's very confusing. It is necessary to offer more understandable and integrated solutions to this region. Also, there is a main road with a historical background passing through the mining areas called Herenweg. Herenweg is located in a very critical part of the city. This road carries the largest mining areas, Brunsummerheide Forest and Zilvertsand in potentials. However, these potentials cannot be used because this long main road creates a border effect in the region due to the use of vehicles and divides the city into two parts. And, as with many other main roads, roadside fences make it difficult to access to facilities, schools and green spaces. It is important to reduce the use of vehicles throughout the city, to provide some major roads more pedestrian access, and to make some roads slower. It will also contribute to the city by strengthening the connections of Brunsummerheide and main roads with more bicycle and pedestrian paths. Under the Khonsu brand, Young adults were chosen as the target group of our urban design. Children and the elderly will also be affected by the chosen group. There are potentials for them with social and cultural integrations. They can work together for the city, and old people transfer their knowledge to the younger ones and each others. Also, children can see the developments and achieve the knowledge. With chosen target group, knowledge transferring will be the concept as lifelong learning practice. For lifelong learning experience, the main goal is creating new skill hubs in some critical locations and invite people to learn and share together. This concept will grow sense of belonging and improving the Heerlen North's social, cultural and economical sustainability. Now we can take a look at the project decisions and the zones which include skill hubs. Heerlen railway line creates a threshold between Heerlen North and city center. Heerlen train station is the connection point of the two areas for the pedestrians. On the upper side, Grasbroek area is really important for the connection of Heerlen North and the city center. In this region, accessibility is not permeable through the north, because the widely spread residential and mixed-use plots have limited street connections. This area also contains many schools. But these schools are left disconnected to the region because of too much traffic and lack of accessibility for the pedestrians. On the upper side, Zilverduintuim construction area is one of the problematic obstacle for the accessibility from city center through the Brunssummerheide. Because of Heerlen's political border with Landgraf was divided with a dense freeway, this political urban planning decisions have made this area inaccessible. Due to the military zone on the upper side of Brunssummerheide and the dense motorways through its periphery, this nature reserve area is disconnected from Heerlen. So, the Brunssummerheide in that sense creates a border in the region. Therefore, connecting city center and Brunssummerheide to the Heerlen North with providing less traffic density was a critical decision for the project. From those outcomes, some points were determined in order to make clear accessibility for the pedestrians and every age group in Heerlen North. Skill value were designed according to these critical points. Not only natural values but also historical values of Heerlen were determined, and the upcoming project of Leisure Lane is also be connected as well. In our concept, 4 different zones are defined for the hubs. Our first zone is Grasbroek area, where is the intersection point of the city center and Heerlen North. Due to the great youth concentration with related facilities, Youth Hub was pointed through the axis of Honey Production Hub next to Herenweg, Schools District, Fishing Hub and Slootjesburg Castle. Clear pedestrian connections from city center through schools and sport facility were designed. Youth Hub is the center for the young target group, where they can learn how to participate in sustainable projects that can take place in Heerlen North. In the Miesenbroek Park, fishing learning and practicing area was pointed. While this route reaches on the east to the Slootjesburg Castle, on the north to the Zilverduintuim where the honey production hub is located. According to our research, mine industries in the region attended a sustainable project in Italy on a former mining area. We found beneficial to implement this project idea to Heerlen North. With this project of creating a honey production, mining industries, young target group and experts will participate in this sustainable project, and this project will become a stage for participation learning. It will become a first promising step for Heerlen's sustainable and qualified future. Second and third zones are Vryheid near to the Zilvertzand and Brunssummerheide. In Vryheid, commercial, cultural, and healthcare facilities were concentrated. In this area there are some local producers with valuable skills. Furniture repair atelier, second-hand stores, flower shops, places of various repairing skills are some of them. So, we can clearly see the elderly concentration there. In order to pass those skills to our younger target group, traditional hub is located through the Zilvertzand's green periphery. This rich cultural center of Heerlen North will be connected to the Brunssummerheide with a slow route concept through the Zilvertzand. This slowness will be achieved with the traditional hub, slow-coated pedestrian path, resting areas, and flexible activity areas. So, this concept will integrate elder and disabled people to the nature reserve area. On the very connection point of the slow route and Brunssummerheide, pedestrian coastline from the city of Izmir projected. This projection is basically the intersection point of the traditional hub and youth hub. This wide pedestrian line allows people to walk, socialize through the nature while taking their times to relax, interact in the park. At the near to the entrance of the park, an activity place for disabled and all age groups was located. Through the path, social, cultural and commercial facilities are located. The huge green is used as a ground for people to relax and socialize. And also through the bike route, lookout platform, bike repair atelier, cycling playground, food courts, workshop space for model making and pottery making were located. The intersections with the leisure lane will allow accessibility to the IT hub, history hub and Hoensbroek Castle. Fourth area is the Hoensbroek Castle. In this area we created a history route and historical hub. With new designed route, after visiting the Hoensbroek Castle, people go for a walk to the history route and can experience Heerlen's history and exhibitions. The location of the hub will attract more people to the castle and beginning of a leisure lane. At the end of the historical route, old houses and workshop areas will make the whole area more lively. In order to attract more people and involve people in the project, certain parts of some of the exhibits in the Hoensbroek Castle will be integrated into the historical road. This way, more activities will be developed than before. As sustainable goals, RWTH's honey production project in mine areas with local companies and young target group will affect the social sustainability and biodiversity. Students and volunteers from local schools can contribute to this project and create a new vision together. Even for the hub building's materials, Khonsu decided to use more sustainable materials. Even this construction sites can become a ground for participatory learning to develop more ecological criticism. To sum up with a timeline, the potentials are defined for the present. Incorporating the RWTH program in Heerlen, more sustainability lessons and practices will take place for children and youth. In 5 years, first hub will be built near the educational zones. Youth concentration area starting to grow west of the Heerlen north. In 10 years, Skill Valley will become visible. And the whole concept will be connected to the leisure lane route. 10 to 15 years, refunctioning of the mining area is on the agenda. With using mine minerals, sustainable projects can start, and students, volunteer locals in the area could contribute to these projects. The biodiversity of the former mine area will increase as a result of honey production project. In the future, these water elements and the surrounding environment will benefit the inhabitants more. In the same time, on the other parts in the city, the whole city will become a lifelong learning land. In the 15th year, the actions taken so far and their results will be re-evaluated by the public and various stakeholders. From an economical perspective, new qualified workforce will emerge thanks to the skill valleys, and hopefully economical development will take place. And the last development stage is 20+ year plan. Sense of belonging will grow more with the actions for the city. Also, the new mobility, cultural heritage and strong routes will make a great impact on the city. More pedestrian paths are being added to the newly centralized areas. As a vision plan, the Zilverduintuin can cease to be an obstacle there and be open to the use of people with the new projects. And Heerlen will be more accessible and visible with its green, heritage, and culture.